See if I would have the book.
Now you can hear. Now you can hear, guys. Let's try that again. And we've had this is kind of the theme. Let's have a mulligan here since we just got done with our golf tournament. Now you can hear, folks. I promise. I know you can hear. I apologize for that. We had the wrong setting. I was doing some training, didn't change it back. That shows you that you got to have the right source on. Anyways, hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. Sorry to start off and duck hook it off the tee into the woods. Yeah. That was kind of the start to that Facebook Live.
It really was.
But now I know you can hear us. I know you can hear me. I know you can hear Peyton. Like I was saying, we just got done with the golf challenge, the cancer challenge in Bella Vista, and we had a beautiful morning. There weren't any storms. There wasn't any severe weather, but it is storming, not everywhere, because we just had Steve Holland say it's nice in Sulphur Springs. But let me show you where it is storming, and it's a lot of places. So let's go ahead and we'll give you a little bit of a radar tour. Now, none of these storms are severe, but boy, they are borderline severe. So Sulphur Springs is very nice. In fact, they didn't even get a drop of rain. I can hear the rain coming down now. Unfortunately, this heavy rain is also causing some issues on the interstate. Now, here's a look at an iDrive Arkansas camera. And this, by the way, is 76 southbound. Now, that is the 612 and 49 interchange, as you know, at Springdale, just to the south of the Lowell exit. And unfortunately, we got some issues there. We've got an accident that appears to be backing up a lot of the traffic. And let me show you some other weather cameras and some iDrive cameras, too, to get you in the know on this and what's going on. So we'll take a look at, you can see that backed up traffic southbound. Here's another look here from a different camera, and you can see how that traffic is coming to a slowdown and even a standstill. Now, there's a camera that has a better view of this accident, but it's a little bit clouded, to say the least. But there you see cars that are stopped, and that, by the way, is 76. So that is very close to the wagon wheel exit. Man. Yeah, a lot of rain coming down. Now, it's starting to clear out in parts of Benton County, but let's take you on a little bit of a radar tour. So we've got heavy rain that came down in Bella Vista. For the Cancer Challenge, folks, let me tell you something. It was a beautiful morning, but then the afternoon popped up, storms developed. Peyton and I were kind of watching this, and we were checking it out as those storms developed throughout the afternoon. Weren't you surprised at how little cloud cover there was today?
There was like no cloud cover. It was a beautiful day for golf, a beautiful morning, and then just to see it blow up like this.
Now, we were looking at the clouds specifically at about, I don't know, what would you say, 12:30? Mm-hmm. And they weren't vertically developed at all. And all of a sudden, bam, they just popped up immediately. So here's the storms in Pea Ridge. They're coming down with the rain, and we can actually check out Pea Ridge with our weather camera. And that's actually the storm already moved through. So this is looking west, and the rain is pushed through already, the heavy rain. But we know that it's stormed pretty heavy over Pea Ridge. Let's give you another view here of a different radar, the same radar, a different view from another WeatherBug camera. How about Lowell and Bethel Heights getting a nice downpour? I know Frankie's trying to do some grilling. Bethel Heights, Springdale, Johnson, XNA is getting rain and storms. And there's also some gusty winds, too. We were watching the winds. You saw it earlier. What did you see? You were reporting almost 60 knots? Is that what it was? Or 59 miles an hour?
59 knots, borderline 60 knots. And we can definitely hear it outside on our building.
It was it was windy, that's for sure. Not only that, but I know you guys are hearing rumbles of thunder and almost constant thunder. We had a viewer call in from Elkins. Robert said that there is a lot of thunder, and it's just nonstop for 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. It makes sense because you look, there's definitely a lot of lightning, and you can see the lightning popping on at the very end of this. Let's go back to, so you can see the winds too as well. But let's look at Fayetteville. Fayetteville is getting an absolute downpour now. So let's look at from Mount Sequoia. There's a look at the city of Fayetteville. How about this? Megan said took damage in Goshen about 45 minutes ago. Megan, where exactly are you at and where are you located in Goshen? Like, what's your area? Because we would love to see that. Half hour ago, we can back up. And I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
About 45 minutes ago. So that would be approximately Oh, 3:15. So it would be right about here is about 3:15. So you can see how that storm popped up and definitely would cause some gusty winds right about there. Also, some hail that was about quarter size. If we look at the hail indication, there was some hail. Goshen Tuttle, about 1.5 miles from the community center. Okay. Well, what kind of damage did you take on? Because I could pass that along to the weather service and we can give them that information. North Garland's without power. So there you go. Definitely some storms. Peyton, I'll let you take over on the radar for a little bit.
Yeah, so
This is Dan.
moving down a little further southeast, there's still some stronger storms coming through, and it seems like this is back building. So there's a lot of vertical development, so the storms are able to survive longer. That's probably why you're seeing a lot more lightning and a lot more thunder that's lasting a lot longer as this becomes more organized and vertically developed.
For the first time, we don't have pop-ups
Yes.
in like several days. Remember, we were talking about more energy, more steering currents, more upper level support. And that's what Peyton was talking about, this back building. The back building is what it's doing is preventing these thunderstorm updrafts from getting choked off. Where they go up, they go down, and they collapse, and that's it. That's not the case. We got rain. We finally got rain and rain and rain. And we're getting rain at our house. Boy, it's coming down. I love it. That's great because we needed it. Bella Vista needed it. The golf course was really dry. For some reason, everywhere I drove the ball, I seemed to find the hard pan.
I seem to find the trees. So.
And then we seem to lose our balls.
Yeah.
Dan, I'll be playing Fayetteville Farmers Market tomorrow, so let it storm today. Okay. Well, we'll talk about that because there's definitely a chance of storms tomorrow morning, late morning especially. So let's give you another radar tour as we keep going up and down the list. So a lot of rain in Madison County. Madison County is getting an absolute downpour. Now, we had a question about Fort Smith. Fort Smith is currently quiet, and that's good because guess what? Our KNWA team is headed to Fort Smith for the KNWA Roadshow.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, and it would have been me, but I can't go because there's obviously a lot of storms. But Chelsea is going to be in Fort Smith live. So make sure you stop on by if you live in the Fort Smith area. Say hi, and we're going to be doing a bunch of different places live throughout the summer with the KNWA Roadshow. We are getting blessed big time here in Witter. Yeah, Witter is getting definitely a lot of rain. So we can go right here into Witter in central Madison County and look at that. And it's actually even heavier a little bit farther west of you. Japton, Wesley, Durham, Elkins getting an absolute downpour.
Yeah, definitely. Probably going to get an inch and a half to 2 inches, possibly.
There's the accident. We found it on iDrive. Okay, let me bring this up here for you so you can see. So it looks like northbound left shoulder vehicle accident, right? Yeah, 72.4. So it's backing up traffic that much? That's interesting. I don't know. Let's see if you can see it on this one. There it is.
Something different.
I think it's a different one. Yeah. A lot of hydroplaning due to the heavy rain. It looks like the rain is starting to lighten up a little bit. We'll work our way. By the way, you can look at these cameras too on iDrive. This one's terrible. It's super out of focus. Yeah. Oh, did you see that rain coming down? But this is definitely a backup. So just to let you know, there are a lot of people looking at the accident as Roby says, rubberneckers, people that are turning their necks as they look at that's definitely a common phrase for people that are looking at accidents as they drive by, and then that typically makes them slow down. So it's date night in Springdale, a bad idea, coming from Siloam. Date night is never a bad idea. In fact, my wife and I are going to have date night tomorrow night. Storms shouldn't be a problem Saturday night, but if you're having outdoor dinner plans, I honestly think you might be okay because this wave of energy is moving through, and I think this might be the end of the storms for the rest of the afternoon. What do you think?
Yeah.
This is a bold prediction.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at it firsthand. And you look and you can see the energy coming through. And I think this is a short wave that's about to move through northern Benton County, and then that's going to be maybe it for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, instead of these bits and pieces of energy, we have this nice solid piece of energy. So we're able to predict it how it's going to move a lot better. Yeah.
There's someone reporting hail in Farmington. I can believe that. Thunderstorms right on top of you. Let's check out a WeatherBug network camera from Kessler Mountain. And just, you can see definitely a lot of rain.
See a whole lot of nothing.
So, yeah. Kayla says, I have a really good panoramic picture from yesterday taken at the airport here. Boy, Kayla, you guys got it in Harrison. Bad. Yeah. That was really heavy rain. Roasted chicken in the oven, dinner on the back patio is a great idea. So to answer your question, I think date night's a good idea. I think the storms are going to be over during the evening. In fact, in the next couple of hours, I don't think there's any more storms, and I think you're good. Western Washington County will get some storms. In fact, here's a look at how heat and cooling mega Doppler. You can see some thunderstorms popping up in southern Delaware County. Notice the motion of them to the southeast. Now, remember that all those areas in Western Washington County aren't overturned. The atmosphere isn't overworked. It's not overturned, and we're going to see additional storms because of the heat and humidity. But boy, look at the lightning at the end of this. This is why you're hearing rumbles of thunder go for literally 30 minutes straight, as someone mentioned. And when we look at the echo tops, earlier it was spiking up to 50,000 feet. There you go, right there. That red shows 50,000 foot tops. Now, what does that look like on the visible satellite? Oh, I'm imagining that looks pretty impressive. So we got to check that out. I got to look at the visible satellite and see what we can see on this. It might take just a few minutes to load. While it does, let's get to, there you go. I'm going to pop this up here real quick. As soon as it gets loaded. We've got to be in the sector now, don't you think? The mesosector?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, here's a question for you. Jacob said, do you like Pokemon? He has a Charizard as his profile picture to denote summer. So Charizard's a hot Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
Breeze Fire. Doesn't sound like you're into Pokemon as much, right?
I've dabbled with it.
Okay, dabbled.
It's been a long time.
Okay. Did you ever play Pokemon Go? Were you?
Yes, Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
It was fun. It was
Chad
a good
still
time.
plays it, I think.
He absolutely does. He says he plays it for Christian. But, and I probably agree with that. I used to play it for my son, too. We have a plane that just left to Dallas. Okay. You should be having a little turbulent flight. That's for sure. If you're flying to Dallas. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Man, those thunderstorms erupted. Wow. That's even bigger than yesterday. So check this out. This is our high-resolution satellite. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Let's go back 6 hours. Look at this. This is when we were out there, 11:30 in the morning. There wasn't anything. I mean, just a few passing high clouds. That's it. But watch what happens here. Daytime heating kicks in. And then, boy, it did not take long for those storms to pop. Right about there, you're getting some energy. That was already a thunderstorm that moved through the west side of Bella Vista. And then look at that develop. And then look at all the other things erupt and then just fill in. And you can see some of those overshooting tops, even though the sun angle is almost directly overhead. Now that canopy is just moving directly over us. So what about the river valley? The way you detect if thunderstorms are going to develop is you look at the cumulus clouds, and there's starting to see some, and probably this will produce an outflow that might fire off additional storms. So
yeah, especially in Fort Smith. While it is quiet now, once that outflow boundary reaches it, at least between somewhere along I-40, we could have some storms fire up.
Bradley says, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm in Bentonville's finish. Harrison Cousins at Industrial Park had stranded cars. The bypass is closed. I don't remember that happening before. Yeah, that was some heavy rain yesterday. It got 2.5 inches in an hour. That was the speed of the rainfall rates, 2.5 inches in an hour. So here's a look at Bentonville. I think you're done. I think that's going to be the end of it. The atmosphere is already overworked. As much shear and energy as we do have, which is still limited.
Yeah.
We don't have the instability anymore. It's already overworked the environment. Someone's asking about Kessler again. Let's look at Kessler. I bet you it's coming down big time. So this is a different view right now. And I believe that we are looking northeast. So if we take that and move that northwest, let's do that real quick. Let's change this to weather 3. Do you have that little controller? I got it right here. Yep, no, you're good. Oh, you can see that downpour off in the distance. Baseball fields are soaked. Keeping her muddy, says Fort Smith is sunny with a little breeze, humidity you can wear. Let's look at Fort Smith, shall we? Got our Fort Smith. Oh, man. Not much going on there, which means I think some storms will be rolling in.
Yeah.
And then we got Miss Laura's historic site that shows another beautiful day. But look at the clouds. This is looking north from Miss Laura's, and you can see those storms kind of off in the north, the Anvil, and then maybe a little bit of vertical development beginning to take place. Does that look like a microburst right there?
Can't tell if that's just the shadow or what.
That is some heavy rain. Check this out. That's Kessler.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's some heavy rain for sure.
Definitely.
And that's looking northeast. That lines up well with what we're looking at. Prairie Creek just had a downpour. Hey, look who it is, Chris Ebert. How you doing, my man? How's the new job? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, here it comes. I don't know where here is for you, but here it comes for sure. It's definitely a downpour. So one more wide view, and then we're gonna do. I got to do radio and get all this stuff done for the newscast. But I just wanted to hop on here. Peyton and I wanted to jump on and let you know what's happening with the weather and all the different things that are the storms that are popping up today. What we didn't have yesterday, it's making up for it today.
Right.
It's a good thing we went 60% for that chance of storms because this is definitely matching that. Let's look at Huntsville. Huntsville will have a good view of all of those storms. Now that's looking west, and you can see the heavy rain off in the distance.
Yeah.
Are you still close to Cartwright Mountain, Chris? If you are, here's the Cartwright camera, and that's looking west, so that's not as much happening there. Still no power in North Garland. Is that, can you tell me, Cordell, if that's, that's my man here playing the guitar, I believe. Let me know if that is, what I was trying to say is, what's your electric company? Let's look at some power outages here. So if we look at poweroutage.us, yeah, about 1,000 customers without power, and only 174, and you happen to be it. I'm going to guess that you are SWEPCO. That's what I'm going to guess. Oh, there it is. Yep. SWEPCO. Harps. Yep. It's me. Yep. We got to sing some Friends in Low Places again. We did that on the square on Dixon Street. So that was a fun time. All right, guys. Well, I think that about covers it. So we got about 100 people watching. Just to reiterate, I did not show you a future forecast. We definitely have to do that. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look here. Going to miss us in Harrison. It looks like this time it does miss you. And I actually want to see why these storms popped up the way that they did. Now, I know we had the energy, but let's actually see if we can visualize the energy. So there it is, a little shortwave coming through right there. Just a small little one. That's all it takes in that northwest flow. Now, what's interesting is look at the flow later on in the evening. Those storms are actually probably going to start shifting more west to east as the upper level flow turns to more of a westerly direction, which, by the way, what that's going to do is clear the smoke out.
Yeah.
So we don't have to deal with that anymore. That's going to clear all those Canadian fires smoke out. And then look at the energy that's coming our way to the west. This is some pretty intense energy. If we look at this sped up, you're going to see, first of all, look at that little short wave. You see that little spin? So what I'm looking at here, just in case you're wondering, is this right in here. See that little dark spot drop south? There's the thunderstorms that popped up. There's the storms this morning, which actually occurred quite a while. And then if we zoom out here just a little bit more, There's the energy coming in for tomorrow.
Woo.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense right there.
Yeah.
That's what we call a Baja Blast. Which, by the way, is one of my favorite drinks.
Yeah,
Are you
I
aware,
love Baja
are you
Blast.
aware of this? Oh, okay, good. You do like that. Yes, it'll put the Canadian smoke away. So there's the energy coming in. And so here's the severe weather risk. We are included in a marginal threat. We're already seeing that come to fruition. The day 2 is shifting east and then moves over us. So if we zoom in, the river valley is under a level 2 out of 5 and a level 1 out of 5 for northern northwest Arkansas. And here's the deal on the lake day, Vance. If you're doing that in the morning, you're going to be regretting being out on the lake.
Yeah.
But if you do it in the second half of the day, you're looking good there. Let's give you the details on the future track radar there. So again, this is just a computer model. Take it for what it's worth. But there's the storms. It actually has those pretty good. It doesn't have a whole lot of development tonight. And then here comes the energy moving in from the west. You can see that already at 9 o'clock in the morning, knocking on our doorstep. I think there will be some thunderstorms tomorrow that we'll have to contend with. Here's a look again at the early morning hours, and then about late morning. What happened there? Did this model update and take everything out? I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't buy that either. With
Yeah,
as much energy as we have, as
that's
much
trash.
moisture.
So there's the storms there. This might be focused more in northwest Arkansas. It's going to be tough to get these storms in the river valley, I think. Now there's Saturday morning. This is what I think is looking more likely. So lake day, let's say you go out in the morning and you're like, oh, it's perfect. And then all of a sudden here comes a wave of storms right around late morning into the early afternoon. But then look at what happens the second half of the day. No problems at all. Now I'm contemplating Sunday storms. I don't know, man. Maybe not as much. Well, no, that's not true because there's a couple waves moving through. So, but maybe we'll be dropping those chances down a little bit on Sunday. And you already did. You only went 40.
Yeah.
You already accounted for that. Very nice. All right. Well, there you go, Vance. You're welcome, sir. One last look. As you can see, we got some sun today. That's for sure. I got my sun on. All right. So last look at the radar. We'll work our way up and down. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. So currently, Pea Ridge is getting a nice little rain, but it's heavier on the east side of Pea Ridge. Avoca, Bella Vista now is over, but the courts are wet, so there's no more tennis going on tonight. That's a soaker. Gravit's not seeing any rain or storms. In fact, we look at the Gravit Weatherbug Network camera, and it's dry. The radar don't lie. Then we work our way south. Bentonville's seeing some rain. It is absolutely pouring in Springdale. So if we look at our Springdale cameras, there's a downpour right there. There's another downpour. That's looking east towards the heavy rain. And that's from the Springdale Harbor High School. So we go back to the radar real quick. Fayetteville getting some storms still. The guy in Elkins that I talked to said you're getting more rain, and he sure is now. Rumbles of thunder continuing. We haven't heard much thunder here in the studio. That's most of the storms have been kind of just a little east of us. A lot of heavy rain in Madison County. Some storms that are popping up. Look at the lightning, how far it's shooting out away from those.
Yeah.
So it looks like this might be dropping a little bit south. So Franklin County could be getting storms, and we'll have to see if this produces any type of outflow. It's a possibility. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to change the color table real quick. And I'm going to go to a color table that has everything on there. It's going to be a little bit cluttered, but we might be able to see some outflow boundaries developing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. So right in there is a little bit of an outflow boundary, and that's firing off additional thunderstorms. It's not a super well-developed outflow boundary, but definitely is. And we'll go back and change.
Could definitely spawn a couple pop-up showers.
Yeah. I like this one too. This is a good. You can really see the outflow boundary there. So that might spark off, and it looks like it's already doing that. That's a lot of lightning farther southeast of the storm. So it looks like an updraft is starting to take off. Let's see. Yeah, looks like some mid-level lightning with that thunderstorm. So some intracloud. All right, guys. Well, that covers it. We'll have the rest of your forecast on the news tonight, and we'll take a look at the rest of the weekend, and we'll give you the updates. All right. West Siloam, I think, is good now. There's still some storms that are popping up. Holly, that dirt track is awesome. At the new track tonight. So there is quite a bit of lightning. It looks like I think we might have lost the radar. In fact, we did. This is older than snot. What's going on here? We lost our radar source.
Switch to Springfield.
What happened there? Stand by. I was wondering why it wasn't changing. Let's see if we got a better radar here. Okay, no, that's the same. So something's wrong with Fort Smith's radar. It stopped. Did you change it?
No. I
Is
didn't
it
see the
going?
mouse. I didn't see the cursor.
Oh, it's there. Where'd it go? Huh. Something's happening. It's an amazing track. What happened here? There it is. There's the cursor.
Oh.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's change the radar here. Let's change it to Tulsa. Look at how old that is. This
Yeah.
is 4 o'clock. This is 20 minutes old, this data. And I was like, why isn't that clearing out? That's the same image too. Did something happen with the radar data?
Yeah.
Let's see. Cross our fingers. Let's see if Springfield has theirs. They're all the same.
Huh.
And that might be why the lightning wasn't showing. Yeah, this is different. Oh, wow. We're going to get more rain. A lot more. Siloam is getting blasted right now. Sorry, guys. That was an old radar image. That was an extremely old radar image. Now we'll take a look at a recent radar image. So we bring up, there you go, 424. So now here's a storm that's over Siloam. You ready for this? This is going to be a downpour. Look at that.
Yep.
That's some really heavy rain. Maybe even some small hail. This is a time-lapse camera, but at this point, it's not a time-lapse anymore. Ooh, there's some nice lightning. Oh, yeah, you can see that milky white off in the distance. That's a little bit of small hail. So we got some people getting hail on the east side of Siloam. Anything coming over the river valley? Taylor, I think that there's going to be some storms that pop up. Whether it gets into the Fort Smith area remains to be seen. It might be just a little bit to your east, but an outflow boundary could fire off a storm closer to you. So again, there's a look at the radar. That's training right over Fayetteville. This could cause some localized flooding. Ooh.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, wow.
Everything from Siloam Springs is going to make its way over to Fayetteville.
Yeah, that's some really heavy rain. So just beware for your evening commute. It's going to be pretty heavy rain and pretty dicey. So, all right, now one last quick look at radar. Nothing really going on in northern Benton County. Maybe a little bit of a pop up right there. So there is some more energy, and there still could be some isolated stuff, but not nearly what we're seeing right now. So there's LaRue, War Eagle, Springdale. Now you see that training that's happening with those storms. Let's look at our Kessler Mountain weather bug camera here. Downpour off in the distance. Graduate Hotel is a downpour. How about Mount Sequoia? Oh, that's some really heavy rain. You can barely see that. Right now, Russellville isn't getting a whole lot. It's just a little northwest of Russellville, but it might be moving towards your area. So you can see Russellville at the bottom of your tablet or your device or your phone, whatever you're watching this from. So there's additional storms popping up, but just not quite there. So, yeah, southwest Washington County not getting much right now. But, boy, there is some training right there right over Fayetteville.
Yeah.
So that's going to cause some heavy rain.
Probably some local flooding, like you said.
Ooh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, that does it. We've got to run because we got a newscast coming up. But I just wanted to give you an update, make sure the radar is updated, and we'll keep keep you up to date with the latest forecast. All right. And we'll give you the idea if it's coming into the river valley. We'll see you on the news tonight. Have a great rest of your Friday, everyone. See you.